Brownie from Manhattan, New York. So I'm in the bed. This is what I made my bed with. This is how my sheet set looks. I changed my sheets yesterday. So this is how my new sheet set looks. So I'm coming to you guys with another video. My tub is kind of like broken from one thing to the other. Yesterday I actually Friday I locked myself in the house and I had to call my housing management and put in a ticket. And my key was actually in the door. So because my key was in the door, it was jamming the lock and stopping it from opening. And now today is going on Tuesday. It's a Monday going on Tuesday. It is 1:13 a.m. I went to jump in the tub and take a shower. And my tub is not pulling up to get the water to go through the top of the shower head. So in order for my shower to run, I have to pull up the thing. So it really sucks because I had to go on my hands and knees to shower today. And I just hate. It really sucks. So I'm going to show you guys what I'm talking about. I'm getting out of the bed and I'm going to walk to the tub and show you guys what I'm talking about. It's going to be kind of dark for a couple of seconds, guys, until I get to the bathroom. So now I'm in my bathroom. I'm going to show you guys what I'm talking about. So as you see, it says lift for shower. So I turn on the water and it's not lifting, and I usually could tighten it. So then I have to take off this whole piece up here in order to tighten this. So you can see it's not lifting in order to tighten it. So it really sucks because I tried turning both ways. I don't like putting unnecessary tickets because so I turn on the water and it's not lifting, and I usually could tighten it. So then I have to take off this whole piece up here in order to tighten this. So you can see it's not lifting in order to tighten it. So it really sucks because I tried turning both ways. I don't like putting unnecessary tickets because there's people like with no heat, especially since it's the hot time. There's people with a lot more urgent problems. I remember like one winter I had to wait a while before they sealed my window and it was really cold. So that super sucks. I had to bathe on my knees. Sorry, I was walking in the hallway. Those of you who watch my videos, you know, you can see I had to walk through the hallway to get to my bedroom. So that super sucks. That really super sucks for me. So I'm gonna show you guys my bed set. Can you guys see it? Like a blue and brown. And I need to do laundry desperately, but I've been trying to save up because I had to buy stuff for my apartment, general needs, which costs a lot of money. But I've been blessed that these last 2 years have been better than my first 2 years living here. Because my first 2 years, I was really struggling just to provide the common necessities such as toilet paper. I had to choose whether I wanted toilet paper or paper towel. You know, the paper towel used to wipe your hands. So, and that became the normal. And I never grew up living like that. Like growing up, my mom always had toilet tissue, paper towel. We always had these stuff. We always had clothes and stuff like that. So that became the normal for me to be struggling, trying to figure out one or the other. For instance, I like body wash. I had to use a lot of soap bars. And when I went in the shopping stores, I was treated very badly because I couldn't afford the higher brands or the high expensive brands. I still can't afford the higher brands or the higher more expensive brands. I turned 23 this year, and My most expensive purse that I bought myself, and I have two kids, as you guys know. My youngest is 5, and my oldest is 6. He's gonna be 7 this 15th of December. So I've been blessed to have two beautiful kids, boy and girl. But when you're unable to provide financially for yourself and your kids, it's not a good feeling. So I'm going to school to get my education so that I can be more financially stable. But during the process, I've also made some I've also made some decisions. I decided to buy myself stuff that is of quality. And it's like, how can you be busting your behind every day to maintain this apartment? As you guys know, I have a 2-bedroom. And I signed my lease when I was 19, and it was a different person in the housing office than it is now. And now they have different people there, and they don't believe that you should have, with the first person that was there, they were really encouraging me to buy the more expensive stuff because they figured it's a more saving of money. But at the time, I wanted to kind of figure out how much it costs me every month for living expenses because I did not know. I didn't know how much I spent a month. I know I would go here and there, and I mean, if I would go back, I was living on $189 a month, and that included traveling anywhere I needed to travel back and forth, which is like $5 anywhere. Clothing, so I bought a lot of tights, and I didn't wear a lot jeans pants at all because they were too expensive for my budget. So if I ate outside, that was like really a treat, and I didn't have any help. So since I've been in my own apartment, I did not receive any help at all from my parents. I bought my own queen bed set, my kids' bedroom set, my living room furniture, my sofa, everything I bought on my own. And I'm still in the process of furnishing my house as well. As you guys know, I don't really talk to my family at all. I really, really, really have to need something and call them and ask them for it, but I really don't talk to them. Even if I need something and I don't have it, I really don't talk to them because I see it like I was in foster care for 10 years. I went to foster care and I aged out at 19. As you guys know, I told you guys my story before. I was raped in the foster home, and then all of a sudden the social worker started to do her job, and she took me to look for housing. I guess she thinks that that makes it better, but it doesn't make it better. So like that's what she has to deal with. She has to go to sleep on that because her job was to protect me and not put me in a dangerous predicament. Um, yeah. And then I got my 2-bedroom, and then when I moved here, I had a lot of young girls. They tried to I don't know, outdo me or something, but they didn't understand that when I moved here, I had just been raped literally a couple months before, and I was traumatized. And I couldn't talk about it because I was also in the process of getting my kids back. So I couldn't talk about anything. I just had to keep going. And I decided to turn back into my religious faith right before I got raped. So it was like I was telling a friend of mine, she was older than me, and she has heart problems. And she was always telling me how her heart is hurting her. And I'm like, okay, so with heart problems, this is very serious. Have you chosen to give your life to God? She was like, no. And I'm like, but, that's a serious issue. That's a real serious issue. If I die right now, I used to have really bad health ever since I created my sanctuary and my peaceful sanctuary just by myself and what is helpful and healthy to me. My health has gotten a lot better. I've had my last asthma attack was 6 months ago. So that's exactly how good God has been to me. Because I had asthma attacks. I would be talking and be wheezing right now, like you would be able to hear it. And God has brought me out of all of that. I remember growing up, when I grew up with my mom, lived in an area where a lot of people smoked cigarettes. It was the 90s, cigarettes were in, and you come out your building and people are just smoking, they don't care. You're walking, people smoking in front of you, and that was just in, and that was fine, it was cool. But as for me, I created my own sanctuary, and this is it. I share with you guys on YouTube because you guys give me respect, and you respect my sanctuary, and I respect you as well. I found living in my own apartment allowed me to see the world the way it is and how cruel and wicked people are. I remember I told you guys in one of my videos I had to do I had to work for my benefits. At first, when I first started getting food stamps and stuff, the people that worked there, they didn't want me to work with the adults because they felt like, these adults are coming out of jail and stuff, and that was not the environment for me. And that was the first time in a long time that somebody had actually cared about where I went and if it was nourishing or if it was bad for me or whatever. Because I was in foster care and they would throw me in any foster home. It didn't matter. It wasn't nourishing. They give these people classes, and if they didn't have a background that came up when they did a check, then as far as they can serve, they're good enough to be a foster parent. So that's the only thing. You have to not be a child abuser or something. So it's really, 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 really a dangerous world out there, and I got to face it all on my own. I was facing this world at 18, 19, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 23, 1, 22, 23. So I've been very blessed. God is working it out for my good. And He just continues providing for me, and He continues keeping me safe. Those of you who know, right before my birthday in August, I had surgery on my gum. I had an infection in my gum, and then I could look back and see about that kid who had an infection in their gum. They died. And I had this infection, and I know I had this infection for a couple of months, and I kept telling my dentist kept telling me he can't refer me anywhere else because my insurance won't pay for it unless they see it on the x-ray. And I kept telling him the pain I'm feeling is like, because I've had a lot of root canals and work on this tooth, I can actually tell now when I have an infection because it hurts me so much and it's so sensitive. So that's the same. I broke it when I was younger. So right now, this point in time, they completely removed the tooth because he's like, to do work on it is gonna cost more money. And I'm like, you know what? I don't want to cost more money, even though I'm not paying for it out of my pocket. What is the most financial wise thing to do? And he said to take it out and he'll put a cap, and cap will stay there for years. But when he puts on a little piece of tooth on top of the tooth that I have, it'll fall out, and then I'll end up every year. But when he puts the cap is there for 10, 15 years. He said every 5 years they'll change it and take it out. Every 2 years, he said. So I've had it in for 2 years now. And I was really hesitant because that's a part of me. Your tooth is a part of you. You've known it since you were a kid. that's your tooth, But I did it, and it hurt me for a year. They say after a couple of weeks. This tooth hurt me for a year, and it took me a year to learn how to eat with it. So those of you who are planning on getting any dentures, with it. So those of you who are planning on getting any dentures, anything like that, that's something for you to know. Some people it's more than a year, but for me, I was lucky that it was a year. And when I talked to people, it hurt me for, I own it since you were a kid. that's your tooth, But I did it, and it hurt me for